Well, hello there, and welcome to another extremely queer substance awareness training from your founder, KJB, of All Life Transitions, Alt, Mental and Behavioral, and Holistic Health. Today, we are going to be addressing the types of social stigma, which is the disapproval of a specific person or a group of people because of characteristics that have been perceived as different from other members of society. Okay? Social stigmas are commonly related to culture, gender, race, age, intelligence, health, income. More specifically, what we're going to talk about today is going to be about the stigmas around people who use drugs and how they affect people. If you didn't already know, this is the YouTube channel of All Life Transitions. All Life Transitions is a 501c3 charitable nonprofit in Phoenix, Arizona, which was founded by me, KJB, or Kara Jean Bry. I am a master's level counselor and a licensed professional counselor in the state of Arizona, and I'm also licensed in Minnesota, Louisiana, and Ohio. And if you are looking for someone to supervise your associate level practice, I am available for that as well, potentially. So, welcome. If you haven't been here before, you're in for a treat. We are um, someone who is born female owned and operated, as well as LGBTQ and queer owned and operated. And we are out here in these streets trying to help people, make sure that people don't die, and get them the mental health care that they need that's affirming, no matter what kind of stuff they're into. That being said, what is a stigma? A stigma is a set of attitudes or stereotypes around a topic, an individual, or a group of people. An example of a stigma would be inaccurate thoughts about people who struggle with substance use disorder, such as they are dangerous, dirty, incapable of change, or at fault for their own condition, like they were making a choice. Discrimination is a form of stigma. The definition of that is the unfair or prejudicial treatment of people and groups based on their characteristics, such as race, gender, age, or sexual orientation. In the process of stigmatization, those who struggle with addiction are stereotyped as having a certain set of undesirable characteristics or traits, in turn, causing other individuals to act in a fearful or prejudicial manner toward them. Something that also happens with stigma is labeling. Labeling is recognizing difference and then assigning a social salience to those difference, right? So maybe even using a word to describe it. And labeling is easily seen as the words that we call people or how we describe them. Social exclusion is a part of stigma. That means being excluded or treated unequally by a particular group, society, and this is based on prejudice and stigma. Stereotyping. Stereotyping is often an unfair or untrue belief that many people have about all people or things with a particular characteristic. So, this is something that people generally believe to be true about a stigmatized class or group of people. And it might apply to some people in that class or group, but it does not apply to all people. Stereotyping says that if it's generally true for many of the people in that group, it is true for all of the people in that group. Let's watch a video about stigma.
I didn't want to talk about it earlier. Why would I want to seem like this sad sack? Those are all the lies that I told myself. It's like, oh, if I talk about this, even professionally with my job, if I talk about this, people won't want to watch me. It's not important enough. And even now, as I'm hearing myself saying all those things, like, wow, man, I really wish that I would have spoken out earlier, because there's nothing like being able to shine a light on those secrets. Those secrets kill. The secret of keeping all that to yourself and putting on that mask that'll eat away at you daily. It ate away at me daily. It's difficult for men in general, I think, because of just the way that we're raised. You feel any of the negative emotions or that dark cloud settle on you, and you feel like you need to cry out or speak to someone about it. No, I'm not going to do that because I'm a man. What kind of man would I sound like if I told somebody, hey, I am, I'm, I'm so sad. I'm cripplingly sad. I, I can't get out of bed. I just, I feel empty. Help me. Psst, I would be some sissy. I'd be soft. That's what you're taught. That's what you were programmed, and that's what kills us. So, in speaking about it on ET and being honest, folks have come out of the woodwork. People that I haven't heard from in years, complete strangers. A ton of my, mostly on Twitter and on Facebook and social media. That's been an amazing gauge of all the love, and so many people. It's echoed the exact same sentiment. Thank you so much for speaking, because I felt that I couldn't. I didn't want to talk about it earlier. Why would I want to seem like this sad sack?
So,
Those are
the
all the
reason he
lies that
didn't
I
speak about it
told
before,
myself.
first of
It's
all,
like,
the men's
oh,
mental
if I
health
talk
crisis,
about
not wanting
this,
to be viewed as
even
weak,
even professionally with my job,
and just
if I
wanting to
talk about
not
this,
be viewed
people won't want to
through the
watch
lens of
me.
stigma.
It's not important enough.
So when I do this presentation in person, I generally ask people in the room, like, looking at this guy in this picture, what do we assume about this guy? We're here in the Phoenix Valley, so like this guy is a white guy. He's blonde. He looks like he has a haircut that actually costs some money, right? He's got piercings. He's got tattoos. He's wearing a crisp white shirt. It's clean. What do we think about this guy? In general, he's got enough money for those tattoos, right? He's young. This guy doesn't look like he's yet 18. And if he is yet 18, he's like barely 18, right? We have a city here in the Phoenix Valley called Scottsdale. This particular guy to me looks like he might have come from there. And if he did come from there, he might be the one providing the drugs to other people. In my opinion, I'm a person with tattoos. And I still have the influence of my parents, who raised me in the 90s, to believe that people with tattoos generally are up to no good. That is not generally true. That is a stereotype. A stereotype, right? Because he has white skin. Scottsdale, here in the valley, is a place that is a primarily white neighborhood, right? So, stereotyping or labeling Scottsdale as a place where white people live is a stigma. Is a label, and potentially social isolation as well, right? These are all the kinds of things that we need to start thinking about when we're just looking at people. We're looking at people, we're seeing things about them. Like, I'm assuming this guy has money. It may or may not be true. Not everybody who has tattoos has money, right? So we need to start thinking about the way that we look at people and stop judging them based on maybe what they look like or where they're from or how they relate to others, how they have relationships with others, maybe, and start looking at them as people first. Speaking of negative terms, what are some negative terms that are used to describe people with substance use disorders, right? Like addict, user, junkie, pothead. And what does stigma give us permission to do as individuals and as a community, right? Does it give us permission to distance, have apathy, not care about people, shame them? The purpose of this presentation is to demystify substance use disorders and other identifying qualities and have us see the person first, not the illness or the disease or the label. All right, here's the substance use definitions. I really like this slide, but I'm going to keep it to the script. So, low, infrequent doses of consumption or prescriptions taken as directed by a doctor would be classified as use. Misuse would be the use of substances that are not consistent with legal or medical guidelines. Abuse is when use adversely affects the health of the user with potentially high social or personal costs. And dependency. It's a compulsive craving for a substance, a chronic and progressive disease where withdrawal is characterized by psychological and potentially physiological symptoms. In order to diagnose a substance use disorder, the American Psychiatric Association diagnosis of the severity of the substance use disorder by identifying the presence of problematic patterns using the criteria below occurring over a 12-month period. Now, recently in my practice, I came to realize that this is no longer used as a classifying criteria necessarily with substance use disorder. It's either you have it or you don't. And it's not mild, moderate, or severe either. It's either on or off. So either someone is struggling with a substance use disorder or they are not struggling with a substance use disorder. This can be completely dependent on whether or not the person believes that they have an impairment from their use disorder. I have a DSM-5TR desk reference right here, and I will look up the substance-related disorders, and I will double check what it says about how to diagnose a substance-related disorder and whether or not it actually requires them to have a subjective impairment. A subjective impairment is when the person believes that it is impairing their ability to function socially, in the workplace, or in other areas of their life. All right? So, substance use disorders. Here's the criteria. A problematic pattern of use that leads to significant impairment or distress. It involves at least 2 of the following symptoms within the last 12 months. At least 2. Using larger amounts of the substance for longer than intended. Being unable to reduce or control the use of the substance, even if one desires to do so. Spending a significant amount of time acquiring or using the substance or recovering from the effects of the use. Experiencing cravings for the substance. Using the substance to the extent that one is unable to fulfill their duties at work, school, or at home. Continuing to use the substance, even when it causes or worsens ongoing, repeated social or personal problems. Giving up social or work-related or recreational activities due to substance misuse. Ongoing substance misuse in situations that cause physical hazards. Continuing substance misuse, even when one knows it is causing or worsening psychological or physical symptoms. Experiencing a tolerance, manifesting in increasing amounts of the substance to achieve the same effect or reduce effect with using the same amount. And withdrawal, which can manifest as an experiencing a characteristic withdrawal symptom associated with the substance or using the substance to avoid or relieve withdrawal side effects. So, this diagnosis disorder can be diagnosed without the person individually and subjectively witnessing their own impairment. So the impairment can be witnessed by a professional or someone else in their family or other settings. Stigma is rarely based on facts, but usually based on assumptions, preconceptions, and generalizations. Stigma and discrimination can worsen someone's mental health and delay or impede their getting help, treatment, and their recovery. Social isolation, poor housing, unemployment, and poverty are possible byproducts of mental health disorders. Stigma and discrimination can trap people in a cycle of illness because A, they are less likely to seek treatment, B, they're less likely to talk about it, and C, they may receive poorer quality of treatment due to biases from healthcare professionals who have struggled with people who have addiction. How we talk to and treat people can make all the difference in the world. How do you feel when I say, "What's wrong with you?" Does that make you feel uncomfortable? Does that make you want to talk to me? Do you trust me? Do you think I will listen to what you have to say? Will it be easy for me to put you down or judge you if I think there is something wrong with you? Ask them what has happened to them instead of what is wrong with them. This can bring up, maybe some things that they went through that's causing them to act this way or have this inappropriate substance use. Use supportive language. Think or ask, how can I start a conversation with you that will show you that I will listen and that I will care? Take the time to sit down and speak with the person. Think before you speak. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? Is it kind? If it does not pass the think test, maybe don't say it. Okay. Thoughts and feelings are implicit if we are unaware of them or mistaken about their nature. Implicit bias is unconscious favoritism towards or prejudice against people of a particular ethnicity, gender, or social group that influences one's actions or perceptions, and it can lead to stereotyping. Encouraging people to be mindful of the risks of implicit bias can help us avoid acting according to biases that are contrary to our conscious values and beliefs. Thought. What you see on the outside may not be what is on the inside, or you cannot judge a book by its cover. There are many ways to help reduce stigma. Seeing a person for who they are and not the drugs they use, and treating people with dignity and respect. Avoiding harmful labels as they can negatively affect someone's self-esteem and prevent them from seeking help. Instead of saying addict, druggie, junkie, or abuser, refer to the individual as a person with a substance use disorder. Refer to a drug habit as a disease, an ex-addict as a person living in recovery. Relapsed should be referred to as something like having a setback. And instead of saying stayed clean, you can say maintained recovery. Learning the facts and the science about substance use disorders can help us reduce these negative biases. Use stigma-free words. Use first-person language, person-first language. That maintains the integrity of the individual as a whole and human beings by removing language that equates a person to their condition or has negative connotations. Supportive language. At the individual level, you can revise words and terms used in discussing substance use disorder and those affected by it. You can do relationship building. You can recognize your own bias and get continued education and personal development. At the organizational level, you can use supportive language Central voices are those impacted by drug use and training and education. So bring in the people who actually have experience with the substance use disorder to help you inform your policies and procedures. At the community level, you can be out and proud about your stigma reducing stance. You can create awareness around stigma. You can do stigma reducing campaigns. You can have policy and advocacy events about reducing stigma. Be the change that you want to see in that world, and be out and proud about the fact that you are no longer a stigmatizing person. Let's watch a video. All right. Sometimes that video makes me cry. I just like that it kind of wraps things up into a pretty little package, right? Not discriminating against people because of race, gender, orientation, culture, ability, disability, those kinds of things. We are all different. There are so many different kinds of people in the world, and we should not judge or discriminate against any of these people, and stop stigmatizing them and assuming things about them and labeling them and excluding them. That does not help them. And even if we don't approve of how they're living or what they're doing, we are less likely to reach them or help them help themselves if we are stigmatizing them and are not reaching them. So we want to turn towards each other instead of away, in order to create relationships, because relationships are the foundation of healing and growth. So ultimately, if we stop stigma, we save lives. Stigmatization of substance users and other classes of people and groups contributes to not only overdose deaths, but suicide rates as well. And so we need to take that into consideration. Disenfranchised and stigmatized groups are more likely to have mental health conditions such as depression and anxiety, and they are more likely to have crisis visits to a mental health emergency center for suicidal or aggressive, violent behavior as well. So we want to make sure that we are not contributing to this by stigmatizing them and disenfranchising people. If we would like to be in their corner and help them change their lives, we do need to reach out to them in a friendly and approachable way. So that is the end of our presentation. As I said, my name is Kara Jean Bry. I am a licensed professional counselor in Arizona, Minnesota, Louisiana, and Ohio. I am currently taking clients at this time. I will update this as needed, but here is the address of our practice and the phone number in case you need to reach me, 602-688-9148. And I also do this presentation live. If you would like to book a presentation like this at your place of business or any other group, we are open to doing these presentations anywhere, anytime across the state of Arizona. And we have grant funding with which to do so. So we can do it for free. So feel free to reach out if you'd like a presentation by yours truly at your location. And I will see you next time. Please remember to like and subscribe so that we can grow this channel and make sure that everybody treats everybody well. All right. Thanks and bye now.